Well, last year it was an upset win in the final here in Singapore when Kenya won. USA are through. Furious and very high. The referee is Craig Joubert from South Africa. We're set for the second Cup semi-final of the World Rugby HSBC 7 Series here in Singapore. One of the big personalities of Canada's great win, one of their best ever sevens wins, was Nathan Hirayama, and he kicks off in the red colours for Canada against England. And he's bound to be a powerful personality in this game too, but there are lots of other stars here, Rob Bickerman.
There are indeed. Nice little subplot. Also, Damien McGrath, the Canadian head coach, was assistant to Simon Amo, the current England coach. So nice story there as well.
That's right. There's lots going on here as fast beginning by England. Look at Dan Norton there, number 4. Bibby gets it away to midfield. They look all business. Rodwell plays out wide. Chased by Fuller, foul. Carried on here by Rory McConaughey. The captain, the halfback is Oliver Lindsay-Haig. Norton, no one scored more tries in the World 7 story than this guy. And now they move it again through Phil Burgess, the captain. He's easily distinguished with the headgear and the vigorous play. It's caught by his opposite number, Fulafau. Bivvy, it's all England, all pressure. Desperation from Moonlight number 4, corner flag in the background. Hirayama, turnover. Canada battles out. This is big Matt Mullins. Moonlight. Harry James. Incredibly determined player. There is Lucas Hammond. And this is brave stuff from Canada. Justin Douglas there bursting outside the 22. But penalty England.
Yeah, great play there. Charlie Hayter doing what he does over the top of centering 15s, but he's got the strength of a back rower. Clear and definite tactic by this England team to try and play around the outside of this Canadian team. They've got the pace, you can see with Dan Bibby, the penultimate player in this backline often, just trying to get on the outside of these big men and free up the space of Norton, and seeing on the converse side, Rodwell out wide.
It's opened up the crowd of this semi-final. They're playing each other to meet USA in the final. Dan Bibby. Now here's where they're trying to get it out wide to the speed man. Norton's the one to look for, I guess, and there he is, number 4, but there are other quicker light runners as well. They just keep it coming. Lindsay-Haig, nice work. Phil Burgess, well grabbed, thrown down.
Well, that's a wonderful turnover there. Lucas Hammond spotted opportunity. Textbook in the fact that he throws the man down and then he gets over the top. It's really good skill set all round here. You can see England, with that passing game, are accruing a lot of them, but ultimately they're not breaking the line. That's the thing. If you get isolated as an attacker, it's too easy for the defender now to throw you down and get over the top.
They're just breathing deeply, the Canadians, to clear away to the side. Nate Hirayama, look at all the points he's scored. And now they'll have a line out with their throw in. Hammond to throw. Jones is number 11 to the right. Moonlight gets it 4. Full of foul. Clears it into the backs. Hammond to Hirayama. Is he going to try a jink or a kick? Looks like he's well cut. No, he's not. He fends off Norton. But Norton comes at him again.
It's good tenacity from Dan Norton there. Misses the first one. Stays on his feet, most importantly, and gets another opportunity. He'll say he was setting a trap for him, and he knew he was going to do that, but good play from Hirayama. This man is absolutely fundamental to how this Canadian team play. If Hirayama gets a lot of mention in this game, Keith, they're going to have done well.
So Ollie Lindsay-Haig. England backs. Fumble in the midfield. Oh, advantage might have been played there for Canada. They might have felt a little bit aggrieved that wasn't something more.
I'm sure that man on shot now as well was. Justin Douglas has been devastatingly good today. Expect to see him trying to get the ball. Damon McGrath's team plan is around getting this man opportunity. And Charlie Hayter there, looking to carry the ball hard as he now concedes his place to Tom Bowen, who's got a very different skill set, but this means there is some serious wheels for this England team, with Lindsay Haig, Norton and Bowen now warming up their back line.
There's Craig Joubert, I'm only human. Maybe they asked him about the advantage they could have called there, and he's given that they put into Canada and got them a penalty as well. So might all be catch up perhaps, I don't know.
And this is where it's wonderful to see Hirayama. He's one of these players that's just so composed with hands on the ball. People maybe saw him in the World Cup, he's just brilliant.
There's not a line in his face, is there? He's been playing this stuff for nigh on a decade now. Gives it to Fulafau, and there is Mullins, big and tough. Fulafau, Hirayama. Oh, there was a man waiting wide, and that was Jones. The referee has made a call there against Canada that time.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit lucky there. Lindsay Haig, for me, did not release the ball or the player, but he still got away with it. Good turnover from them. Again, as we've seen, if you're playing out wide and get isolated, it's all too easy for the defence to shift across and really hammer that breakdown.
It's Cup semi-final for Sevens Rugby. Two cities swing through Asia. Hong Kong last week, Singapore this week. Pause for a couple of weeks and then up to Paris and Twickenham to finish. Deep to Rodwell, parading the centre of the field now. Bibby, now space, Norton. Nicely worked again this time. It's Lindsay Haig. He's the speedster. They won't stop him. Just flickered at the start and then flamed his way through.
And what a combination we're seeing. Good tackle by the turf there on Dan Norton, but Phil Burgess there to support, clears the man out. Bibby shifts it, gives opportunity to Lindsay Haig. That's all he wants. His first action in life, I think, was a hitch kick, and he does it just as well on a Sevens rugby pitch. Gets on the outside of the big man and scores a crucial score. Most interestingly from there, all came from a line-out of which Tom Bowen was lifting at the front. So straight away, you're splitting your speedsters. That means there's a threat out wide. Moonlight knows there's some wheels outside of him. It leaves all too much inside for the big man to do. And in that case, Mullins cannot get anywhere near Lindsay Haig.
Conversion is on its way. It's not over, and half-time has been in the middle.
It's going to be no mean feat.
So England kick off second half just ahead by 5-0 with the late first half try by Oliver Lindsay Haig. And so Canada in the red run it forward, and they did that go forward, not called by the referee. Here's Mullins. Canada incidentally at 9th on the World Series table going into the Singapore tournament. They'll pick up some solid points here. And they're fumbling and bumbling and tumbling at the back here.
But Dan Bibby doing what he does, making an absolute mess out of situations. Looks like a bit of a surfer perhaps, but he is tough as quantum physics, this lad. When he gets in the mixer, he just does not let go. Really quite mixing it up there. He's so strong upper body.
Tough as quantum Phillips, that was my physics, that was my top subject.
Could be a mole coming, so I'm going to go to the back.
I got 26 in school cert maths many years ago. Now, it wasn't quantum physics, I can tell you, mate. He is as tough as quantum physics, whatever that is. Okay, trouble here for Canada, facing the full court press of England here, determined to make the final against the fact that the other hotshot teams tumbled out at the quarter-final stage. And look at this from Canada. Here's Mullins, caught by Norton. Not many will get away from Dan Norton.
No, Ford got to get out the way quicker.
Joubert there penalising Dan Norton in that instance, not Dan Bibby. Your first action as a tackler has to be to roll away, to make it clear that the battle can happen over the ball for it to become a ruck, until it remains a tackle otherwise. But I mean, we talked about self-belief there. David McGrath heightening the fact that it has to come from this Canadian team, creating it with patience. But what we're seeing at the moment is a bit of panic, almost risk. They don't have to try and throw these speculative offloads. They can break down this England team because they win collisions with their sheer size alone.
And they need guidance aplenty from this man near the forwards and in the midfield and in point production. Nate Hirayama, number 6 in the Reds, is on now. That's Isaac Kay. Fuller foul. He'll take on all comers. He's backed up by Moonlight, who plays almost every second in these tournaments all around the globe. One by one by one. Nice wraparound for Hammond. Now, here's Douglas. Norton's on to him. Oh, not by much are they over. Hirayama. Jones. Kay, advantage offside. England are up offside.
That time White. Advantage over.
Kay. Bibby. And the big man off the bench, who's no longer chairman of the bench. He's the try scorer for the first time this weekend. Isaac Kay.
This sums up the physicality we've been talking about. Shifted the ball across, only Moonlight would ride a shot like that. It's like two tectonic plates hitting in midfield. Kay spots an opportunity, perhaps could have given it, beats Bibby on the inside, gets rid of Lindsay Haig like a fly, and falls over the post, most importantly, near enough for the conversion.
This for the lead, and Canada go into the lead.
I mean, what a shot here, Rodwell, blindside coming in, puts the right shoulder, left shoulder in that case, into Moonlight, who barely even shifts. Ball get out, Burgess held in, too much for Bibby on the overchase, and Lindsay Haig, he has to do better trying to grab the ball there rather than the tackle.
3 minutes to go. Tom Bowen clears it into the backs. Bibby has been good there with his passing left to right. Now they're trying to get the speed of Norton. They believe in Norton's speed, but he tumbled and fell, and the ball went forward. Advantage Canada from that play. They'll start again at the scrum.
Oh, agonising for Dan Norton there. First chance to see him cut loose out wide. Not always the outside. He looks for the inside gap, the 1-2 he calls it. Stays square, gets the fend out, just can't hold on to it. But that's the first time you see what he can do out wide. That's what they've wanted to try and do all the time. But that stat defines this England team at the moment. Sometimes so good, breaking down the South Africans like no other side can on the HSBC series. But ultimately, give the ball away, you lose opportunity.
Just over 2 minutes to play. It can't be a case of Canada holding on. They've got to continue to thrust forward for even more points. For one of their most famous victories, can they get it? Douglas! He's played a beautiful game this weekend, and he has made an awesome moment for Canada.
What a score. Justin Douglas showing why the whole world are talking about this man. Just for reference, this is Dan Norton here, and he has absolutely smoked him. Almost tip of the hat there as Norton trots back. But Douglas was the danger man before the game, and he's just shown why.
Conversion for even more points for the lead. Must have been close, ever so close, but Canada are out past the 7-point cushion. Do I call it a cushion, Rob?
It's just definitely a safety net, isn't it? But this England team have been committed throughout.
If Canada win, it'll be their only second appearance in a final. Previously, that was in Glasgow in 2014, when they were thrashed by New Zealand in the final. 40 seconds to go. Look at this man who made such a great impression and led to the try.
Missed it.
Isaac Kay. And there's Douglas. Gives it to Moonlight. Norton in desperation. Hirayama. Full of foul. Full stop. Great win. Canada to the final.
Well, what a moment. Again, we've seen Justin Douglas make his mark on this game. Tips it up for the captain, the leader of this group, and shifts it up for me, the unspoken man. Full of foul, has dominated proceedings throughout, like he's dominated the last 30 seconds of this game. He has got it all, and he's just put a full stop after his name.
You showed your intellect before, Rob Vickerman. How about there are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. Canada have made a golden final on the back of superb performance, and your commentators recall of great Canadian poetry. Canada 17, England 5. And so we're going to have a North American final, Canada to play USA. Won't that be fantastic to look forward to?
Just going to be an incredible thing to see.